40 days. It's been 40 days since I first received that phone call about my father being in the hospital. It's been 40 days from then till the day he took his last breath. 40 days. Some of y'all may know or be aware that my father was recently diagnosed with renal carcinoma, stage 4 kidney cancer. He was diagnosed with that about 6 weeks ago. But what a lot of y'all do not know is that my father didn't make it. Passed away last week, 9/11, at 10:51 p.m. The death certificate says otherwise, but I know when my pops took his last breath. I looked at the clock. It was 10:51. The whole family was with him, rode through the whole journey till his last breath. I stayed a couple hours after that. But I'm not here for that. I'm just trying to draw a picture for you. But yeah, man, it's probably one of the most, it has to be, I haven't sat here to compare it, but man, it has to be one of the most mentally taxing times I've ever experienced, that I will continue to experience from here on out, man. A lot of thoughts, feelings, emotions for the first time that, you know, I'm going through, and I will continue to process from here on out, man. It's been a trip, bro. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I live by the creed, bro. It's like, no matter what you go through, bro, every damn obstacle, every trial, every pain, every trauma you go through, bro, it's all part of the test of life, bro. And it's about how you get through these things, how you manage them, come out at the end, hopefully for the better, right? It's what makes you. It's what makes or breaks you, but it's what makes you, because I'm always going to win. You should have the mindset you're always going to win. You can't let anything defeat you, because then you lost. Right? And that's what I want to achieve with this video, bro. Like, I'm never here for a pity party. I'm trying to make a positive out of a negative. No matter what the hell you going through, bro. No matter how bad it is. No matter how shitty it is. No matter how fucked up it is, bro. It could always be worse. It could always be worse. And then think of how lucky you are that it didn't end up in these worst of ways. Right? Consider yourself lucky. Take advantage of the relief that should give you, man, because things could always be worse. And do not dwell, bro. Do not dwell. Dwell does no good for anybody. Fuck you want to dwell for? What the fuck you want to sit in your pity for? What the fuck you want to sit in your anger for? What you want to sit in the thick of it for, bro? No matter what it is, acknowledge it, assess it, adapt, proceed. Take some time. Mentally, if you need to, but at the end of the day, this gonna keep on ticking. The days gonna keep on passing. Them bills gonna keep on coming. Life doesn't stop for anyone, no matter what the fuck you going through, right? So dwelling on it just, it's going to magnify whatever the fuck it is you're experiencing that much worse, that much more. You take my situation, for example. Trying to figure out how I'm going to navigate through this, man, because it's much more nuanced than just my father being diagnosed with cancer, bro. Right? It's a lot left out. It's a lot left out. It wasn't just the cancer my father got. It was also who my father was to me and the role he played in my life, which was no role. My father had absolutely no relevance, significance, impact, or influence in my life whatsoever. There was no relationship. So sitting here as I continue to read like all the condolences for, you know, You know, take your time with your father, spend time with your father and all that, bro. Like, I mean, I get it. But, you know, my situation wasn't what most would think. Yeah. Not gonna get into the weeds of it out of respect for my family, myself, my father, and all that, bro. But like I say, me and my father had no relationship. Yeah, my father and I stopped speaking pretty much as soon as I became an adult. You know, to sum it up, you know, generally, without getting to the weeds of it, man, you know what I'm saying? As I became an adult and I came to learn, like, really who my father was or whatnot, that resulted in our relationships ceasing to exist. And it resulted into my parents getting the divorce shortly after. You know, after that point in time, me and my father pretty much became estranged to each other. You know what I'm saying? Past 14, 15, some odd years, I could probably count the amount of times I spoke to my father on two hands, maybe even one. You know, maybe 4, 5, 6 times over the phone. I mean, you know, past 14, 15 years. And I seen him twice. I seen him once on my little brother's graduation, and I seen him 2021. That's it. Not to say that, you know, throughout these past years I didn't try to patch up, or not even patch up, just an establishing a communication line, man. But it was all for not, you know what I'm saying? Shit just didn't work out. And yeah, we had no relationship at all for, you know, a lot of reasons, a lot of reasons, man. Yeah, it was toxic, bro. It was really toxic initially, and then, you know, it faded into just us not talking at all. But then you fast forward that to August 3rd or 4th, 2024, when I received that phone call from my brother, my younger brother, who called me and told me that, you know, Pops was in the hospital and he was crying hysterically over the phone, which which is wild, you know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing hysterical is never a word I thought I would ever use to describe my father in any capacity, man. Like, my father's one of the most stoic people you would ever come across. Right, so when my younger brother told me that, Kendrick told me that, I already knew something was up. You feel me? I've seen my father cry once my entire life. But, you know, despite our lack of a relationship, got off the phone with my little bro, called Pops immediately. And yeah, he was breaking it down on the phone. My first words were, "What's up, Pops? How can I help?" Didn't even think about it, bro. It was like autopilot. I mean, I don't fuck with my pops at all, but it's like, "What's up, man?" And he'd informed me that he'd checked himself into the ER because he was feeling like shit. I think I said this before in a previous video. Like, when I first told y'all, like I said, my pops are stoic, bro. It's like, it's gonna take a lot for him to check himself into the ER. Like, you got to be damn near about to die. And like, I'd imagine it'd be me, because me and my pops are similar in a lot of ways, and that being one of them, bro. Like, checking myself into the ER, bro. It's like my brain got to be coming out my throat or something, bro. I'm not about to go to the fucking ER for nothing. So when I know my pops went to the ER, I knew it was something serious. But yeah, he said he got a MRI and they found masses all through his abdomen and his brain. Hadn't been diagnosed yet, but they definitely knew it was cancerous. And he was breaking it down on the phone, bro. Sounded weak. And at that point, it was just automatic. I really didn't think about how I felt about anything. It's like, hey, I got on the next flight out to Atlanta, stay with him for fucking 2 weeks, getting all his affairs in order, you know what I'm saying? Getting with the docs, making sure, you know, getting his insurance together, getting his disability together, getting his veteran shit together, just taking on everything. Like, my immediate thought was to relieve him of the responsibilities of adulting and just focus on his health. So was there in Atlanta 2 weeks. Didn't like the service he was getting in Atlanta. They was trash, and I took it upon myself to say, hey, fuck this. We are going to San Diego to receive better treatment. San Diego has one of the best cancer treatment centers in the States, and you be closer to family, which you have not been close to in any capacity for 15 years, right? Despite how the fuck I felt about anything. Like, my feelings didn't fucking matter. We're talking about this life, right? I just, at that point, I just felt like it was just my responsibility, bro. Like, my pops brought me here. It wouldn't be me if it wasn't him, despite what the fuck our grievances were. And, it was cordial, it was cool. You know what I mean? Never seen my father in that element before, much more open and vulnerable and sensitive and emotional. But, that's going to happen when your life is at stake. So I was definitely appreciated, and I definitely could tell he was appreciative of me just handling things for him. But anyway, fast forward, we were optimistic at one point coming to San Diego, had a game plan. He was scheduled to get brain surgery, get the fucking tumor out of his brain, and then we attack everything else. But he had a stroke along the way, and the stroke is what sat him down. And after he had that stroke, it was just him deteriorating day by day by day. And every day we would go to the hospital to be with him while he died. So I processed it, just going to the hospital to see him die, because there's nothing we could do at this point. You know what I mean? Despite of how optimistic my mother was and brother was, I already knew what it was. But I wasn't going to voice that because I'm not trying to add any fucking insult to injury. And throughout this process of me overly extending myself, the fact that it's affecting my family dynamics and taking away from my children and affecting my work and affecting my ability to work. Like, even when I get in front of the camera, like, the work didn't stop, right? But, I got to compartmentalize somewhat to get through these fucking videos, because I got all this shit in the back of my mind at the same time, which just showing me that I'm capable of doing that, which, but yeah, man, there was a lot of shit going on in my mind, bro. Like, conflicted is probably the best word to describe what I was going through at that point. Like, I'm conflicted because, of course, I feel bad that my pops was going through this shit, and then, the chances of him surviving is fucking slim to none. But at the same time, I'm pissed because of bro he was throughout my life. And I internalized it, being that the only reason why we're here at this given point is because, essentially he threw his family away for whatever the fuck the case may be. And if he still had his family, he would not be in the position he was in, right? If we were still a whole family, my mom would have been on that ass. So as soon as she saw something different, I'll take your ass to the fucking hospital. We get on top of this shit now. We good. You know what I mean? But, shit happens. Tough titty. It is what it is, man. But, like, I was conflicted, bro. Like, I go to the hospital and be pissed, be angry, looking at this motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? But then sad at the same time, because it's my pops. I see so much of myself in my pops. You know what I mean? Like I said before, we are alike in a lot of ways. It was just battling, not even battling, but just trying to go through these emotions and feelings, and as I still am today. And I'm giving you all this information and intimate details about my experiences to highlight the point of, dwelling on shit ain't gonna change nothing, bro. Like, it is what it is, dog. Make the best of the situation. What was done is done. There's nothing you can do to change anything. All you can do is deal with what you got in front of you. You know what I mean? And my mother, the beast that she is, for being, divorced for 15 years, she made it her mission and our mission as a family to provide the most supportive, loving atmosphere for my father as he would go through this journey, regardless of what the outcome was. We're gonna make your father feel loved, something he hadn't had in a minute because he been on his own. He been living by himself for forever, right? He ain't have no family, no intimate connection with nobody. It was just work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep. He had nobody looking out for him, so it was time for the ones he was once responsible for to look out for him, and that's what we did until the wheels fell off. So I learned a lot from this experience. Well, I mean, it just confirmed what I already fucking know and what I've already been doing and how I've chose to live my life from a certain point. One of the reasons why I maneuver through this world the way that I do at this point in my life. There was once a point in time in my life where I wasn't living the right way. And regardless of how fucked up this situation was, you gotta find the positive, the silver lining in it all. And there was a lot of silver lining, right? Like my family is, it's 100. You know what I mean? How we all banded together at the drop of a fucking dime, drop of a hat to support the motherfucker that pretty much just threw us to the wayside. You feel me? And I don't want to talk bad about my pops given the circumstances, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Family strong. My mother, I said it in the funeral, man. I ain't got no words to describe the beast that she is, where she just refused to leave his bedside, dog. She just refused to. And she left when she had to. She had other responsibilities, man. And the responsibility she did have, she put them motherfuckers to the wayside. That shit was effective because she made it her mission, her objective, to be with that man through to the end, right? You know, with my ass, I was pissed every time I'm up there. Like, I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? I was pissed because of the circumstances, but I'm also pissed because, like, regardless of our relationship, you know, I know my fucking father to be this big ass figure, being. He's 6'2", 230, 240, you know, stoic. And he ain't soft. Don't shit affect him. And to see how cancer has been just drug him, and he's just deteriorating skin and bones day to day. It was hard to fucking see every fucking day, bro. Just to watch him die. It was difficult to do that. You know what I mean? No, and then I know him, knowing him, like, I know he don't want to be this way, but I won't even go there. I don't even go there. It was what is done is done. But family is hard. Family is dope. It emphasizes how important family is, man, which is very relevant in 2024 when the nuclear family, the family dynamic, the real family element is under attack right now. And there's going to be a lot of people who don't have the luxury of experiencing what the real family dynamic is. Having your own kids, having your own legacy, having your own village and shit, bro. Like, that's family is really the only thing that matters at the end of the day, but that's the only motherfuckers that gonna have you when you ain't got nothing. And family could be just friends too, ain't gotta be blood, you know what I mean? But so divisive nowadays, and togetherness is not what is promoted at all. It just emphasizes of how important family is. You don't have shit without fucking family. Ironically enough, the motherfucker that my pops, who chose not to take advantage of the dope ass family he once had, we were the ones that show up when he needed something the most. That show you how important family is. But then I don't like posting my personal shit. First of all, I don't like putting my shit out there. I'm doing this shit because I feel like this could help. But I didn't really want to put anything out in regards to my pops. Condolences to my pops. You got to spend time with your pops because of the dynamic that me and my pops had, which was none. Like, it wasn't what it was. That's why, you know, I share shit on YouTube and I share shit on Patreon because, especially in regards to this, because I needed y'all to know why I wasn't out here performing as I typically do, because I got all this shit going on in the background. Like, if my business wasn't affected, I wouldn't have told y'all about that shit because of the relationship that me and my pops had. You know what I'm saying? I would kept that shit to myself, right? I'm doing this shit because I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing right by my father. I'm doing the right thing that the son's supposed to do because that's what a good son's supposed to do, despite anything, right? And the reason why I chose not to share things as much is because I didn't want all the condolences about, sorry for your loss and all the words ones can come up with to be there for someone that loses a parent. But real talk, at this point, I don't look at it as me losing anything because me and my pops had nothing anyway, right? I mean, as fucked up as that sounds, like it is what it is. I'm not losing anything because he had no impact on my life any fucking way. Like tangibly, literally, like with me and him. He definitely means things to me outside of his existence, like the influence he has just by me knowing who he was and how I choose to use that energy to go through life. But as far as me having feeling a real loss, I don't feel that because never had anything from jump. So that's the reason why I didn't want to put it out there, because I'm gonna be flooded with all the sorries and whatnot, and they don't make sense given the context of my situation with my pops. But taking what I was explaining initially into consideration about making positives out of negatives, bro, right? Despite the lack of a relationship that me and my father had, he definitely has had hella influence on me and how I decide to be as a man. One of the reasons why I choose to live as right as I do at this point in my life is because my father has shown me a blueprint of what not to do. I know where that leads you, and I'm going to do shit the fucking right way. And that's silver lining in this shit, right? I could dwell on, right, why we're all fucked up, but no, fuck that. Fuck that. Take the positive out the shit. It's a lot of positive to take. My father didn't struggle that long. He wasn't in pain that long. He didn't suffer that fucking long. Shit could have been a whole lot worse given his circumstances. He got to pass on his own terms. He didn't have to fucking be in a horrific type of graphic situation. Like his family was with him. I totally expected to get a call from the hospital one day saying that my pops had passed and no one knew about it because my pops was a ghost in my life as far as I was concerned. So I was totally prepared, just getting a phone call one day, cops pulled up and my pops was gone or some shit like that. But the positive in this is that I got to be there for my father. I got to be with him somewhat, got to have somewhat of a family dynamic. He got to see his grandkids, got to see the family, got to see what it was to see his firstborn as a man and his own family dynamic and shit. And I got acknowledgement for it because he respected what I had done and what I'd accomplished and shit. You gotta take the positive from all of it, bro. Don't dwell on shit. Don't sit in shit. Don't think about the negative. Think about the positive and how you're going to move forward. Don't think about the shoulda, woulda, couldas and this, that, and the thirds. No. Take what you can. Learn from it. Adapt. Reassess. And continue the voyage, bro. Because life's fucked up. Don't stop for no one. Regardless of how much shit you go through, the shit's never going to stop. Life going to keep beating you down till you ain't breathing no fucking more. But all you can do is prepare yourself. Weaponize yourself. Be on the offensive and get through this shit the best way you can, right? But yeah.